system, what do you think about child labor? Should the children do work or not?
Okay, you want to know about child labor, right?
Yes,
Should
sir.
the children do labor or not? Right? Children of which age? Age also matters, right? And if you talk about child labor, so obviously, you know what happens if, let's say, children below 14 years of age, 12 years of age, sometimes they are too small. If they do labor, then obviously it looks awkward. It looks awkward to everybody, right? And I understand your question because being emotional, you will definitely not like it, right? But we actually live in the country like India, wherein the population is very high, and let's say no care is there. Sometimes from the side of the parents, there are many abandoned children, right? So if they are abandoned, then what the hell will they do? Who will take care of them? So in that case, they have to do something to earn their livelihood. So they have to do labor. Okay. And if you see this from the perspective of emotions, then obviously, what would I say? The child should not do labor. But when I use the term should, it becomes a kind of a lecture, the morality, right? So from that perspective, I would be absolutely right. Child should not do labor. Then what should the child do? Then who will take care of the child? Who will foster the child, right? So every child has no parents. Even if parents are there, several times the conditions are like this, that the, let's say, or there is a possibility the father is boozy, right? He beats the mother, and they are actually totally hard up. They have no money. So then how would they earn? And yeah, you would say, I know, the child should do study, he should go to get educated, he should go, right? But in that case, first of all, what is the guarantee that every child is able to set his or her heart on study? What is the guarantee? And apart from that, if you look at the education system, is it very much goal oriented, result oriented? I mean, is it able to get you job for sure? Let's say if there had been any certainty that any child did or passed 12th or maybe graduation, then he or she is bound to get the job for surety, for sure. Then yes, I would say that yeah, child labor should definitely not be there. In that case, child must study, because I can see, if I can see that after doing or passing class 12th, that the child is able to get 20,000, 15,000 for sure. Even that is in a very good job. But even after going through the education, there is never any certainty, right? And obviously, I know if children study, because education never goes waste, it never goes in vain, right? So yes, I mean, education is good. People or children must get if they can get. But if it becomes a risk, right? So several times there is a guarantee, surety, certainty. But if it becomes a risk, then you have to ask me, should the children take risk or not? This question can be like this: should the children take risk or not? Then definitely I'll ask you, are they in the condition to take risk? Are they in good condition that they can take the risk of taking education? If it had not been a risk, if there is a surety, then I must say children should never do labor. They should only study, because there is guarantee. So if the education system is ameliorated, improved, then obviously they should not. But if, let's say, if I actually remove the children from their jobs, then I would send them for education. Who will guarantee that after passing their 12th class, graduation, they will definitely get jobs, right?
Yes, sir.
And second thing, when children do labor, they get experience, they get skills. Just it depends what kind of a job are they doing, right? So if they are just working at the tea stall, then I can't say right? They would just become tea maker. But if they are working somewhere technically, right? Let's say they become mechanic. If they become mechanic and they know how to fix the cars, so later in future they would become the mechanic of cars,
Yes.
right? Which is not a small job. They earn hell lot of money, right?
Yes.
So yeah, not I mean this is a kind of a topic which has its pros and cons, right? You also have to see the flip side of the coin. You also have to see the people who got educated but still doing the labor.
Yes.
After getting education, doing the labor, then what could you do? What could you do? Nothing. So that is why actually this is a kind of a topic which has two phases, right? So you have to see the flip side of the coin. In the case of child labor, any question about this, if you have, you can raise that. Or any other question that you have?
Yeah, so I have.
Hmm.
Like as we all know that education is very much important, right? But if we see the case of the Korea, I just forget North Korea or South Korea, but from those, one country has the literacy rate of 98%, and two, like for the local workers, like which is not that such kind of a small job, not that of big. The people are being imported.
Children are being imported.
Not children, but the people.
Okay.
Yeah, like from South Africa, India,
Hmm.
right? But the people of that era, area,
Hmm.
I have said era of that area are not ready to do that work because they see themselves to be like very much educated, and they see themselves to be not being able to do that small work. According to them, that is a small work, but they are not ready to do it. They just want to get it. They are in search of getting a work according to them, but they are not just doing the work whatever
So
they
what's
are
your
getting.
question?
Like the thing is that when the literacy rate of that country got increased, then the people just understood what is their value. But from this, this affects the local works of the country, in the primary sector, the jobs get very much lesser, and we know that the primary sector is the backbone of every other. Are you understanding? Like if there will be nothing to produce, and
So what is your question? That's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, like I am just saying that
It is something that you are telling me the conditions there.
no. Like I was just I was asking you a question, then you didn't understand, so I tried to explain my question, but I'm gonna ask. So it just got longer. Okay. Like so my other thing, so I was asking the thing that if the person is getting educated, because we have the real case, so he is not ready to do the work that is just lower than his labor.
Obviously.
And he is just liking to get unemployed rather than to just get employed or engaged in that work. So please share your views on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, that's true. It is the case in India as well, not in other countries. Here in India, what happens when people pursue their MBA or BTech, MTech, or they go through any degree, or let's say people prepare for the government jobs, right? So they, let's say, cleared the UPTET, CTET, like that. So then in that case, obviously they consider themselves very well educated, right? So after that, if they happen to do the normal jobs, they take a back seat in India too. Okay. So what happens, obviously, then there is a proverb in English, beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah.
Okay. So in that case, let's say if they do not get what they wanted, not necessary that you would always get it. So in this case, they should actually take up the jobs which is in hand. So there is another proverb, one which is in hand is better than the two in the bush, right? So the one which is in your hand, you should do that, you should go through that. Why? The reason is because at least you would get experience. Let's say you get a chance to teach in any school, the salary is low, but if you compare it to the government jobs, then obviously it is low and you will not be able to set your heart there, but the experience matters. And the main thing is that you should not be sitting at your home twiddling your thumbs. That is the thing. So I applied it in my life also. Although I was not very much or greatly educated, right? Whatever the jobs I went through, I took it up. I got experience. I got to know the value of time. I got to know the value of money. That matters a lot. And how did it benefit me? Then later when I made up my mind to study, later, then I was able to set my heart on education better than earlier. Just because I got to know the value of time, the value of money. Same is the case with those children. Like let's say if you just sit at your home doing nothing, you will not be able to get to know the value of time or value of money, and you are also not going to get any kind of experience as well. So this is the case. I mean, about those people, I can't say they just have to change their mentality. And not necessary that after getting educated, you would be affluent in your life. It is not always important. Sometimes uneducated people are more affluent than the educated people. They are earning hell lot of money. And several times, education is like a bond. Let's say somebody did engineering. So he has actually confined himself in the boundaries of engineer. So he will not be thinking of anything else. Nothing else. So sometimes it ruins a person. It confines a person. Whereas you have to unleash your all the potentials. Test yourself in many fields, in all the fields. So when you actually enroll yourself, right, when you get into any sector, anything, even if you become a normal teacher in the private school, you get some experience, you get some learning, you are able to groom your personality. But the people who just sit at home doing nothing, then they become absolutely useless. So it is better to get experience in that case. So it is the case in India as well with many people. I have clearly seen people saying that, because now I did my MBA in which I was expecting more than 50,000 rupees because I was shown the dreams, right? But I didn't get any job. Then they say like that, yes sir, now if I go for a job of only 10,000, 15,000, it is like a stigma. What response would I give to people if they happen to ask me that why did I do MBA? What response would I give? So they feel absolutely abashed, embarrassed. This is the case.
So, well, if we talk about India, like we know that there is the problem of unemployment. But according to the survey, like if we take a particular field or a sector, right? If the number of people we see and like having a good degree, like many degrees, in those 84 to 86% of the people don't deserve that degree. Like because sometimes they don't know the basics of their degree, or if they know, then they only know the lectures of their professor.
Actually this is about that education system. I already mentioned that. So actually there is no guarantee because the education system is like that. It is absolutely hollow, providing you only degrees. So yeah, people are holding the degrees, and that is the cause that they are not able to get the jobs, because they are just holding the degrees. So that degree doesn't benefit them, right? Because when they go for the private sector, especially, they see your skills, not the degrees. So that is the cause. On the one end, they are so-called well-educated people because they are holding degree. On the other end, they are not getting any job. So that is the reason the person is actually suspended in the mid. So-called educated, but unemployed as well. Now, many people, UPTET, CTET cleared people are roaming, right? Government is not releasing the jobs, okay? And they actually just, take a back seat or get frustrated in doing the jobs in the private sector. That is the case. And several times, they don't even deserve because they didn't enable themselves to get the jobs in the private sector, because they were so much adamant for the government sector. See, if they cleared UPTET, CTET, then they must have worked hard, right? So in that direction, they worked hard, right? But now, when they are not getting government jobs, and when they go to the private sector, in that, they actually see your personality, they see your communication skills, they want you to speak in English, and because of English, they are not getting the jobs even. So on the one hand, see, they would have, if they had got the government jobs, they would have been earning 45,000 rupees in the government sector. Now they are struggling for the job of even 10,000 rupees. See the condition. And see, if they cleared the UPTET, it clearly means they deserve. Because if this if there had been no regiment of BJP in the regiment of Congress certain years ago, the people who cleared the UP TET, CTET got the jobs. They are still doing the jobs, aren't they? Right? So right now, let's say if you had been in that regiment certain years ago, you would have been in the jobs. You would have been earning 40,000, 45,000 rupees. Right? And now see, if you didn't get the government job, you are struggling for the job of only 10,000 rupees. 10 or 12,000 rupees. And now I ask you a question, if you are so much eligible by clearing UP TET, CTET, whatever the learning you did by now, why aren't you able to get the jobs then? Why aren't you able to get the job of more than 20,000 even? 30,000? On the one end, you are a person of 40, 45. On the other end, you are not a person of even. You are not a person of even 10, 15. See the difference. So why could not that education enable you? Why could not your education that you went through, why could it not enable you to get the job of 30,000? Is it able to make you manager in any company? No. Whereas if you had got the government job, you would have been earning more than 45. You would have been like a queen. Yes. You wouldn't have been talking to normal people then. You would have been proud being the government employee. Right? Overestimating yourself. Bitter truth. Now see the reality. And that is why many people are ecstatic. You know why? Because if people are not getting the government jobs, so many people, deterrent people, frustrated people, armchair critic, जो ना खुद कुछ करते हैं पर दूसरे के सुख से दुखी होते हैं, sadistic pleasure जो लेते हैं, just because of this they are happy कि ये लोग कुछ करते थे नहीं, इनको कुछ आता था नहीं, and they used to earn hell lot of money getting the government job, so called successful, right? So those people are happy by taking this sadistic pleasure. Sadistic pleasure आ रहा है उन्हें. Sadistic pleasure पता है ना या नहीं है? हाँ, they are getting this now. Sadist people. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So related to education, any other question does somebody have? Related to education? No? Okay then. That was it in this video, and about further questions, I would be back, okay, once again in this session. That was it about education. Thank you very much.